Hey y'all, we're going to try something a little different today. This is going to be sort of a handwriting activity, but I think you're going to really enjoy the activity itself. It will require you to collect a few items, but for the most part, you should have them around. And I'm going to show you ways that I've been creative and used what I had so that I didn't have to spend a bunch of money doing the activity. Really, the only thing I needed to buy was seeds. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a small gardening project, and what we're going to do is we're going to try to plant some peas. Now, the seeds that I have, um, I may be a little bit late in the season getting started with them, but uh, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant them in a tray to kind of give them a sort of a boost, and we'll see if it works. But even if it doesn't work, it's a great learning experience. So what I want us to do is kind of walk through this task, and I would encourage you uh, to collect some items and then come back and work with me. Okay, so right off the bat, the first items you're going to need are just a piece of paper and a pencil. And after you have your piece of paper and pencil, we're going to add to our list. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to switch over to my desk so you can see my paper. And I'm using a pen. I recommend you use a pencil because you might have to erase, but I'm using a pen because I found that with video, it's just easier for you to see the dark ink on the pen. So what we're going to do is, I guess I should have said, one of the things that's important when you think about writing is so often in school we have assignments where you have to write something or you have to fill out a form or whatever. But in your life outside of school, how do you use writing? Well, a lot of times you use it to make lists or to keep things organized. You'll even see your parents making um, lists of items that they need to pick up at the grocery store, or maybe a list of things they need to get accomplished during the day. You might see such notes stuck to your refrigerator. So anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to make a list, okay? And we'll get started now. So the first thing is, I always like for you to go ahead and write your name at the top of your paper. So I'm just going to write my first name. Um, it's just a reminder. In fact, I'm going to put a, an apostrophe S because this is going to be Greg's list. And you can make a list for almost anything. So go ahead and write down, you can hit the pause button and then write down your name, apostrophe S, and list. Unless your first name ends with an S, then if it just ends with an S, then all you do is add the apostrophe at the end, okay? But for most people, it's apostrophe S, and then write list, okay? After you've done that, you've come back, what we're going to do is we're just going to, just to keep it organized, we're going to put numbers by our list. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come up with the things that we need for this activity. We already know that we needed paper, so let's go ahead and write paper. Okay. Number 2. What's the next thing? Remember we said pencil. Good. All right. Number 3. All right. Now we have to think of the things we need for planting seeds. Well, I think we need a tray because I don't want to just plant straight into the ground. So tray. Number 4. We're going to need dirt. Number 5. We're going to need seeds. Number 6. What else do we need? We need a shovel or some way to scoop our dirt, right? And probably, don't you think, we need water. Okay, I'm going to pause now and I'm going to change the location where we're set up. I'm going to go outside and work with these things because when you're playing with dirt, the worst thing for you to do is to bring it in the house. Your mom will not be happy. So we'll pause this and then we'll set up outside. Okay, here we are. We're outside. We're actually on my back deck, so I know that the noise will be a little different. You'll probably hear some cars every now and then. You also may see the camera shaking a little bit because I'm on a deck. And when I get up and start moving around, you might see things kind of move around a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch you over to my my table camera, and I'm going to try to talk you through these activities as quickly as I can because I don't want the video to be too long. So what I want you to do is I want you to whenever you get your items together and you have a place set up, what I want you to do is hit the pause button, um, and then hit, you get ready, and then you hit play when you see the first thing I do. And each time you need to take a break or you need to go do something before the next step, hit the pause button and then come back to it. And if you need to go back, you can always move the video back so that you can see what's going on. So we have our list. Ooh, one thing I forgot to add to the list was gloves. So let me switch over. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it as well here, but that's something that happens. Something that happens when you're working on a project. You realize, oh, I need something else, and I'm trying to see if I don't know if you're going to even be able to see what I'm writing here, but I'm going to go ahead and write it down. Gloves. Okay, so I added to my list. All right. Now I think we have what we need. So if you don't have any dirt, first thing you're going to need to do, of course, you want to ask your parents about all this, but you may need to get your parents to help you with these things. So what I did to get my dirt was I went into my yard and I found a place that was kind of shaded that had some, it had some pine straw and some leaves over it. I just kind of moved it around. I didn't dig real deep. I just kind of dug just a little bit on the surface. And what I did after I dug on the surface and got a little bit of dirt loose, then I put it in my milk jug, which I created. Basically, what I did was I took a jug and I wanted to have it opened up like this. And so what I did was, again, this is probably something you might want your parents to help you do. You can use scissors, or I think I used 10. Yep, I used 10 cutters. So I used this tool, just made it really easy. But I believe you can do it with scissors as well. And so what I did is I took that out to the place in my yard where I wanted to find some dirt, and I shoveled it up and I filled it up in here. Okay. So if you don't have dirt, pause, go get you some dirt. If you don't have a container, maybe you have a milk jug, you can make something like that. Even if you need to wait until your milk runs out, don't pour it out. Your parents won't be happy. Ask them to save their milk container and then cut it out for you, and then you'll be able to put some dirt in there. Okay? So pause if you need to go get dirt. If you're ready, though, let's move on to the next thing. So I got a box, and this box, of course, was empty. And what I did was I knew that this wasn't the best dirt, so I decided I would want to pour it out into a box so I could look at it and I could kind of sift through it. And this creates an activity for you actually. What you can do is then go through, and you may not be able to pull everything out, but you see you can find all these, these roots and other bits of debris. You have to be careful though. Sometimes your dirt might have rocks and things like that could be sharp. So you just want to make sure that if you're getting your hands in there, that you're watching what you're doing. You might want to use gloves for this part, but sometimes it's just as easy to use your fingers. Okay, so what I would advise you to do is once you've gotten some dirt, you pour it in the box, then you kind of go through it. And here's another thing that I think would be good for you to do is when you see like these clumps of dirt, just smush them because it's going to be better like that. Okay, so clump of dirt, smush it and leave it in your box, and you just keep working on that until you get them all good and done. Okay, so ooh, see what happened there? I found a rock, and I'm not going to be able to squish that, so I'm just going to put that outside of my box. Don't really want rocks when you're trying to plant seeds and grow a garden. Okay, so I'm going to put you on pause, and I'm going to grind up the dirt that I have a little bit better. Okay, now you can kind of see that I've gone through and I've really worked through these clumps and dug my fingers in the dirt and really turned it more into kind of a powder really, and it's going to be much better for planting. Okay, all right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to push that to the side, and you remember that I told you that we needed to get a tray. I put that on my list. It was number 3 on our list. If you wrote down that list, it's number 3. So what I did, instead of buying a tray or begging someone to give me a tray, I went to the kitchen and I found that my wife had bought some mini blueberry muffins. And guess what I did? I ate the last one. And when I ate the last one, it left me this nice tray. And look at that. It's going to be perfect for putting little seeds in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of dirt in each one of those circles. So you could use a tray like this, or maybe an egg crate. Egg crate probably would be really great for this. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just go ahead and start filling it up. And what I'm going to do is I got a little plastic cup. You can use other containers, but I got a little plastic cup. And what I'm going to do is just scoop a little bit of dirt out from my box, and I'm just going to start filling up these sections here. It doesn't have to be neat. I can see that I missed some roots there. You're not going to be perfect when you're going through and trying to clean out your dirt, but that's okay. If you have, little pebbles too. That's all right. You get it. Now, I want to say something about doing this project too, is that I don't know if this is going to turn out or not. But that's no reason not to try it. Of course, it's good if you want to do some research and improve the chances that something's going to work out. But reality is you're never really sure about how a new project's going to turn out. So what I did, I'm just going to kind of clear off these sections in between just so you can see how I've got these different, oops, it's not even on the screen. Okay, so got that right there. So now you see I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got 12 places to plant a seed. So my next thing to do is to get my seeds. So now your parents may know a lot more about growing and planting than I do. And if they do, that's great. You want to use them as a resource. Ask them for advice. Ask them how to do it better than the way I'm showing you. But if you're like me and you're just sort of trying it out, well, give it a shot. So far, what we have is we've collected our dirt. We've made a list of things we need. We put our dirt in a tray. And now what we're going to do is we are going to add seeds. And so the seeds that I have are, they're called Lincoln Homesteader peas. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, because the instructions on the back show you that actually we're probably not in the best time of the year for it. I'm a little bit late on the season, which is one of the reasons why I decided to put it in the tray and not just plant it straight in the ground. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tear the top off the packet. Oh, I should mention that this is the only cost that was involved in this whole project. Was I had to pay $2 for my seeds. Sometimes we don't have $2, but you know, it's definitely a cheap activity in comparison to a lot of things. So I'm going to switch the camera back, and you're going to see how I'm planting these seeds. Again, I'm really just kind of creating this activity because I want to have you do something that has purpose to it. I want you to have something that you can write about. And so what I'm doing, I'm just going to put a seed in each little spot there. I've seen where some people say put 2 or 3 seeds into a space and then clip out the smallest ones, but I'm going to go ahead and just put one in each spot, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting them up there right now, and I'm pulling out any roots or anything I see. I hope that this is not washed out on you. I am outside, and that does change the lighting. Since I started making these videos for you, I've noticed that lighting is really important, and I didn't know that before. Also, I wanted to mention to you the reason these videos don't have a lot of labels and things like that on them, and not super fancy editing, is because I didn't want to spend time on editing. I wanted to make sure that I gave you good content. So if you can see this, I don't know if you can, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my finger, just my pointer finger, and I'm just going to push these in a little bit, just get them under the soil, just kind of work them down there to the bottom. Not, I mean, they're not going all the way to the bottom, but underneath the dirt for sure. All right, just get them in there. And I think what I'm going to do is, once I've got them all in there, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit more dirt. My cup has water in it now, so I'm going to just use my hands. I'm just going to kind of spread a little bit of dirt over the top. And all that's left is one thing to do now. What's that? If you guessed watering, you are right. All right, so we're going to water them, and then we're going to put them, I'm going to put them in a, they don't handle too much heat, too much direct sun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in a spot in my yard, or actually on my deck, where they get partial sun. And then if they start growing, then yay, we're going to eventually plant them in the ground. So next thing is I'm going to put some water, and I'm not real precise with it, but I'm just going to put a little bit of water in each section. One thing that I know is you don't want to put too much water. All right, but I'm putting a little bit of water in there, and it'll soak in a little bit. And I'll have to check it every day to make sure I'm getting enough water. You see, some of that water's not really soaking in, but it'll get there. It'll get there. And that's basically the project. Now, let me talk to you really quickly about something else I would like for you to do with it. So I think it would be great if you went back where you have your list. Check off before you even maybe start this project. If you're watching all the way through before you started, once you get all your items there, then just come and put a check mark next to each item once you find it. Okay, see how I've done that? So you put a check mark next to each item once you find it. And I'm going to slide slide these seeds out of the way. And I'm going to put this, go back to the other camera so you can maybe see what I'm writing. I don't know. Again, it's maybe washed out. Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to work. Okay, anyways, let me just sort of explain to you what I'm doing then. So I think what would be a good idea is for you to do a little research to find out whatever seeds you're using, because they'll be all different. Whatever seeds you're using, find out what the watering schedule is. And then once you know what that schedule is, what I want you to do is write down the days of the week. So you write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Let me jump over here. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All right. So what I want you to do is write those down, draw a box next to it. And you can do this every week. And what I want you to do is if you know that you're supposed to water every day, then whenever you water on Monday, then you're going to come here, you're going to check your box until you get all the way to the end of the week. All right. If you know you're only supposed to water 3 days a week, well, maybe what you want to do is just write Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you do that, you can mark out the other ones or just write Monday, Wednesday, Friday. All right. And so then once you've done Monday, check it off, Wednesday, check it off, and Friday, check it off. Then you know you're done for the week and you have done all the watering you need to do. Okay. And then you watch it to see if you start seeing your plant grow. It'll be a cool project. Um, so it gives you a chance to work on some writing in kind of a fun way. And also, it's going to be an interesting experiment to see if you can grow something, because if you can grow your own food, that is a skill that's going to be great for you for the rest of your life. All right. Y'all have a good day.